Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, episode 373.
Ooh.
This is Chris, and joining me today are...
Ames. Caitlin.
And me, Jake.
And today we will be looking at Discovery Season 1, Episode 5, Choose Your Pain.
I choose no pain.
Well, you're not being given that option by that Klingon who can speak less good than every Klingon we have seen so far.
Damn it, how about a pimple pop? That sounds fine.
Is it also just that he doesn't speak English and he's, struggling with it?
No, that actor is definitely struggling with the fucking fake teeth. Like, more than any Klingon so far. What? What? I'm just gonna point at somebody and maybe you'll kill them? I don't know. So, in Choose Your Pain, we kind of got two things going on. I guess the A-ish? Which one's the A plot? I don't know.
They're kind of quasi...
The A plot is going to be whatever Burnham is doing, so...
That's fair.
So,
that's the law.
Gabriel Lorca is talking to some admirals. They're like, hey, so we don't want you to burn out the spore drive, so maybe chill out for a bit while we try to find some more tardigrades to torture.
They love it.
And he's like, but I want to find whatever.
I love torture.
And then, on his way back, just never go anywhere without your ship. Because they wanted it to be secret and shit. And also his, buddy admiral wanted to pull him into a corner to be like, you hired Michael Burnham. And he's like, I do what I want.
Oh, that's probably because they're fucking. He's fucking everyone, it seems.
But yeah, in classic Star Trek tradition, if the captain went somewhere on a shuttle, you know he's about to get captured.
See?
And he gets captured, and he's thrown in Klingon prison with Harry Mudd and...
Yes, that Harry Mudd.
Some dead guy and Ash Tyler.
Harcourt! Oh, we finally meet Ash Tyler.
Yeah, and we find out the Klingons, make them pick someone to beat the shit out of, and Mudd is like, well, fuck you all, and stuff. And it turns out Mudd is spying on the Starfleet people for the Klingons with his little bug friend who has a bug on him.
Oh, Stuart.
Bug.
Stuart was so cute.
Stuart the bug. And when, L'Rell straps Lorca into a chair to try to torture him, she says his exact words back to him, and that's how Lorca figures it out. And they escape.
But they leave Mudd
to
rot.
They leave Mudd behind.
Idiots.
Who screams for revenge after them, and that shortly that's the last we see of him until TOS.
Yep.
On the Discovery, Michael continues to feel bad about figuring out the whole thing with Ripper. She goes to Saru, who's like, no, we have to save Lorca, shut up. But then she goes to Culber, and is like, she's like, hey, so you're a doctor? And he's like, yeah, shouldn't you go to one of the xenobiologists that's on this ship? And she's like, nah. It's like, fine. And he figures out, oh, this might actually be killing Ripper. And they go to Stamets, who's like, fuck. So they have to figure out some way to replicate the interface, but computers just aren't good enough, and they can't find any compatible people to, genetically modify except humans, but we all know that's illegal. Shocking no one, Stamets does it anyway. And they jump. Lorca is fleeing with Ash in these, Klingon fighters.
Oh, they were very cute.
They were. They had, peacock tails.
I loved it.
I thought they were, dragonflies.
A bit of both.
Peacock dragonfly.
Yeah.
But Saru, being a prey species, recognizes predator patterns and is like, don't shoot that one, that's probably our people. It is. They beam them on, and then happily Ripper, despite having squeezed all the water out of himself in a defensive pose, is okay. They give him some mushrooms, shoot him to space, and he jumps away before Starfleet can torture him some more.
Good job, Ripper.
Happy ending.
Well, you didn't mention that Stamets got himself Rippered. He's the new Ripper.
Yes. Did I not say? Oh yeah, he injected himself with the stuff.
That's how they jumped away.
Yeah, became part tardigrade and...
Oh, is Stamets going to be okay?
Tardigrade.
I don't know. He's got a weird mirror guy.
I did hate how this episode starts with a dream fucking sequence.
Yeah.
And I always hate those. I'm going to add this one to the blog post, so go back and check that blog post, because I have updated it by now, I'm sure. Because it's all, oh, Michael's feeling guilty. Count how many fucking times dream sequences are just to show you that a character feels guilty, and I hate it.
Yeah, like, they'd already established that she felt guilty.
Yeah.
And there's better ways. You know, they ever, like... I forgot how blatantly they spelled out what I've been saying for a few weeks now, where it's like her and Tilly are having lunch, and she's like, I don't like feeling things. It's like, oh, I forgot you outright said that. Good, so I am kind of right.
Yeah, Tilly had a line, I love feeling feelings. It's like, what is this?
Tilly, you're allowed to be wrong. I also hate feeling feelings, Michael.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting episode, I think, because so much of this show is about the drama, and like the sci-fi stuff frequently takes a back seat. And I feel like this episode leans heavily on the drama, but it still has some semblance of the sci-fi stuff with the
Ripper squeezing out water.
We can DNA ourselves, and and they figure out, okay, well, if we could just get somebody else to get the tardigrade DNA, then we'll be able to make our own Ripper.
Let's torture some bonobos. That might work.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so they don't show us, but evidently they tried this on many other critters.
Well, they ran simulations, it sounds like, to see
I
if
wanted
it
to
would
torture
work.
more critters.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Stamets just goes full mad scientist and just tests it on himself.
I love the mad scientist laugh he does immediately after he realizes they've jumped, too. Yeah. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's so coy about it when I think it's Saru radios down.
Yeah.
Did you fix the tardigrade problem? And Stamets' answer is, I will get the jump to work.
Yeah, we're good to jump.
Yeah, and then when he calls down later and, Tilly picks up and is like, better get down here. Better hurry.
Ship out of danger.
It is funny, I was thinking this, but like... That is probably one of the failings of the design of that room from a real world perspective. Is like that room was clearly designed with the understanding that there was going to be someone in that pod eventually. And like, but they didn't know that in world when they designed it. So there was really no good reason for it to be like that, They thought they just had to shoot mushrooms in the thing. And there was no reason for it to be that big, to have a door. Like that is definitely like a... Because we know where this is going in the real world, we designed it this way kind of thing.
Yeah, one thing about the design of that system that I also bothers me, I think, is... So both the tardigrade and Stamets had to get stabbed in the torso?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of the torso stabbing?
Keeps him still? I don't know.
Well,
I could assume if it was like a stab you in the neck, like the Matrix or something, where you're like, oh, I'm
but why
tied
does it just stab at all?
Yeah,
I think it didn't have to. I think Stamets' friend was just a fucking psychopath. I'm glad he got twisted to death.
Oh God.
Another thing.
Oh, speaking of Stamets' friend, we find out that he and old Doc Culber are a couple.
Yeah.
Which it didn't occur to me before, but like. Aren't there rules against being your, partner's physician?
I don't know about that.
Is he his physician?
Yeah!
He's a physician.
He directly treats him a couple, he fixed his nose, he's been keeping an eye on him now, it's
like those kinds of things any physician can do.
Yeah.
But there is a CMO on the ship who I don't know if we ever get a name for.
Yeah, because Culber's just like, oh yeah, the CMO wants me to do this thing.
Yeah, which is, I'm sure, to establish that Culber is not the CMO.
Well, my theory is that maybe the writers were hedging and okay, we might want to introduce the CMO at some point.
Dr. Argyle.
Yeah, we might want to make it somebody recognizable, like, Mbenga or something.
Oh, by the way, Leslie. Oh no, I guess it couldn't be Crusher. She's not alive yet.
Dr. Bartender.
It could be Nana Crusher or Nana whatever.
No, she's busy fucking
ghosts. Howard.
Howard, Nana Howard. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, no. Dr. Bartender's on the Enterprise right now. This is overlapping with that.
Weird. No, but I do enjoy Hugh and Paul together.
Yeah.
I think it's also a very nice scene, and I know everyone on the team was a big fan of let's just have them doing something normal, like brushing their teeth together to show this level of intimacy that's just so it's not drilling you over the head look, gay. They're people in a relationship.
Gay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed pretty woke to me to have two men brushing their teeth side by side. Not in my Star Trek.
It's good, though. It also, like, it's a way of, again, sort of showing, not telling. Like, if you're just sitting there that casually, just brushing your teeth together, looking tired, like, that's a relationship that's been on for a while.
I mean, maybe they're just good friends. You know, they're
Keep
just
friends.
they're
They were
roommates.
I also...
Calder's here to check on Stamets' oral hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing, is, like, I forget if they ever really make sense, but it's like, how did you two get together? It's like, Culber just is... Like, I mean, we don't really know him yet, hugely, but he does already, you just feel like, what's the connection here? Because you both, like, just seem like such different people.
They're gay and they're hot.
Yeah, you don't want to date the same person as you. That seems boring.
No, I know. I guess, let me rephrase this. Based on what we know of him so far, why would anyone be with Stamets?
Fair. Well, maybe Hugh brings out the best in him.
Yeah, and again, maybe he was better once.
I do have a great note, and that's that Brian Fuller, who we all know and remember and love, and who was also gay, who I didn't realize until I read this note.
Oh.
He was determined to include gay characters in Discovery after receiving a whole bunch of homophobic hate mail during Voyager, of all fucking shows, just because, like, there was a rumor going around that a character would come out as gay. Which didn't even happen in Voyager. And Brian Fuller still gets all this hate mail. And he's like, you know what, guys? I'm going to just do it. I'm going to make it clear. Like, fuck the 2009 movie that barely does anything with their character. This one's going to be clear and representative.
There was a gay character in 2009?
Sulu.
Is that established?
Not
barely.
I don't think it's established till the next movie.
It was in Beyond where he...
Was it in Beyond that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier.
No, it was
Wasn't until Beyond.
I was like, I don't even think they referenced... I mean, it would be awkward, I think, to have referenced it in 2009. Just because, why? And Beyond, at least, it made sense.
Yeah.
You know, they were going to the star base and he got
That's
to...
right, there was a starbase. That's what happened. And
Yeah.
blink if you miss it, and they never, like... For all you know, like, and for other countries who are, like, skeezed out by this, oh, that's his brother.
Well, they probably just cut that scene
And
entirely.
he's nibbling. And...
Oh, look, his Manny is watching his child.
But yeah, no,
They're friends.
Star Trek was long overdue for some proper queer representation.
Yeah, that isn't, like, Mirror Kira assaulting people.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that. There's also Dax and
which you can write away and say, well, she was a man before. There's always a way they can write it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got another Star Trek first this episode. The first and second
F-bombs.
Wow.
This is so fucking cool.
How fucking
It changes everything, like
awkward,
the Queen.
Awkward and stilted and totally out of place and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was Keith DeCandido or it might have been Jammer's Reviews. One of them says, like, it felt like they did it because they could do it and not because there was any reason to.
Yeah.
See, a better
Sheer
place...
fucking hubris.
The better place for the first Star Trek fuck would have been when Stamets smashed his face other week. Like that because we said it, we felt like his reaction was a little too muted. It should have been like, fuck! Oh, fuck! That, totally believable.
Yeah, but this just felt very much like...
We can.
Like, we can, and we're going to beat you over the head with it. There was, I don't know if this story is true, and I don't think it spoils anything, because I know you guys haven't seen the show Andor, so I'm not going to say anything spoilery, but suffice to say, there is a point in the show where a character gives, like, a rousing speech in opposition to the Empire.
As one does.
Ugh, whoa.
And, like, the climactic line, evidently, in the original script was, fuck the Empire. And the studio came in and said, no, you can't say fuck. This is Star Wars. We don't say fucking Star Wars.
This is Star Wars, and you're owned by Disney.
Yeah.
We used up all of our fuck revenue on Deadpool.
And, like, sure, I get that. Star Wars, I'm like, okay, I can kind of buy it. Because it's a dirty, dirty world. But I actually don't think people say fuck in Star Trek. It doesn't work for me. it just doesn't work. I'm not being a prude about this. I say fuck.
Should
constantly.
it be that Starfleet people shouldn't say fuck, and like the Klingons can say whatever they want?
It stands out very awkwardly, like with the kind of like look back at the language, the way people spoke in TNG, right? Like they spoke, they used big words, you know. They used Scrabble words.
Well, I will say, in Star Trek 4, they do make a point of the fact that they're bad at swearing.
Yeah, double dumbass on you. Yeah, exactly. Like that. It's lampshaded in that movie where it's like, oh yeah, they never do cuss. Well, it's because
standards and practices, but we'll make it part of the world.
Yeah, but it's also
they're
just
so
like
elevated.
It's the future. They don't feel the need to drop their colorful metaphors.
Now, is there a difference then that it comes out of Tilly, the quirky character?
I mean, other than the fact that I don't like that actor and I thought the delivery was awkward.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be as annoying if it felt more natural. Like, I remember the first season of Torchwood really suffered from, like, we're the Doctor Who
with sex.
But we get to have tits and swearing. And, like, the first season, it was just really overdone.
Tits and swearing?
And it was just, yeah. And it's just like, again, if it had been a more natural line, again, I think if Stamets had shouted fuck when he cracked his face, it wouldn't have felt weird and we wouldn't be having this discussion. But it does feel like you said, like, we get to, so we're gonna. And, again, I think it's like...
Do we again in this show?
I'm sure we must.
I don't remember. As Caitlin already said, we do get some sheer fucking hubris in Picard, which is not a spoiler because I think it's, like, been memed to death now. We all know about it. And, again, I say this as someone who's a huge fan of swearing. Yeah. I think, it has very much its place. And it does feel like, and maybe it was just the take or whatever, but it does feel like it's maybe not something Mary Wiseman says a lot. Like, it came out a little weird. You can always, I feel like, I remember once seeing a production of a play where a character had to swear a lot, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this actor does not swear much in real life.
Yeah, that was Psychosis, what was it, 4?
Oh, that too.
That Sarah Kane played.
But I was thinking of a production of Arcadia I saw once where their Bernard also clearly never swore.
Because I feel like that was the best version of Arcadia I had ever seen.
And he was, again, the Bernard was great, but you could tell, because Bernard doesn't swear that much, but it was like, even the few times it's like, you don't swear much in real life. These words are not rolling off your tongue as smoothly as they could be.
Yeah, I felt that way with Psychosis 4. What was it, 50?
Some random number. But yeah, like, again, because even when Stamets repeated it, it sounded a little more natural coming out of
Well, I liked it too, because I think he said kind of fucking cool. He said fucking cool, which to me is... I was stretching this morning while I was listening, or watching, and I was like... Sort of sounds like when Mark says fucking weird in Rent. So, to me, that was a tiny call-out, but I'm sure it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. It's just very few people hit the G on fucking, Yeah.
So fucking cool, kid.
Oh, not Adam Rapp. Adam Rapp is his brother. Anthony Rapp.
Anthony Rapp.
I was saying that sounded wrong.
Tony, yeah. Adam Rapp.
I didn't realize he had a brother.
His brother is a playwright.
No shit.
He's insane.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, of course, he's a playwright. I just...
So many. I've read at least a couple of plays by him, and I think both of them had a scene where someone has to piss on stage.
Oh, I don't...
It's like, Adam Rapp, you're a weird guy.
I don't care for that.
That's just
he likes pee-pee.
Difficult
Loves
to
it.
deal with from a technical standpoint.
I don't like pee-pee. I don't want that.
No, speaking of pee-pee.
Where's this going?
Well.
We meet is this our first... Well, no, it's not our first. We had Sarek already. I was going to say, okay, we have our next TOS callback character.
Oh, yes.
In the form of Harry Mudd, played by Dwight from The Office.
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson?
Yes.
Rainn Wilson.
Dwight from The Office. No.
Harcourt.
What else has he done? He's Dwight from The Office.
He's done this.
He's done this.
I feel like I've seen him in something else, maybe.
Some commercials for staff. The internet provider.
I mean, he's a fine actor.
Yeah.
He plays a very good Dwight from The Office. He plays
the best, you might say.
He plays a acceptable Dwight from The Office doing Harry Mudd.
See, okay, so actually I was thinking about this. I feel like they understood first appearance Mudd. Because he's very much... Sorry, by which I mean they clearly watched Mudd's Women and understood it. That this is a guy who, when you first see him, is gonna act like this clown, but is actually fucking awful. Because in his first appearance in that, he shows up and he's doing little voices, and he is a pimp giving drugs to women and beating down their self-esteem. Harry Mudd is a terrible fucking man. And that's what he is here. They resisted the urge to go with the later, sort of more clownish Mudd we see in I, Mudd, and his one TAS appearance.
Mudd's Passion.
Thank you.
I think there was a lack of menace in this Mudd, I felt like.
I think the environment was doing all the menace.
Yeah, well, the thing is because in Mudd's Women, he's in control. Here, he's playing along to save his ass. So in a way, he couldn't be menacing, because, I mean, he is still a prisoner. He's doing everything he's doing to save his own ass. He's not in control, so it still makes sense.
What I didn't like was, like, he had this little exposition monologue that no one needed. It was only so people would be like, oh yeah, Mudd. Oh yeah, Stella. I remember Stella. Laugh, laugh, laugh.
Harcourt!
There was like, his introduction was this whole, I'm going to tell you my life story.
Yeah.
Which, why would you do?
Yeah, it was very strange.
It was for the audience, and it showed.
And I feel like that's a problem I have with a lot of things that happen on this show, is that they're very clearly done for the audience.
Which I kind of wonder, like...
Shouldn't everything be done for the audience?
Well, yes, but in a way that's not obvious that it's for the audience.
I see.
Yeah, organically. It should be organic.
What's weird, I think, with that is, like, I don't know how many people give a fuck about TOS. Like, I feel like the impression I'm under from a lot of, like...
Well, people who do really do, though.
True, but I feel like most people, their onboarding was TNG or later. So, like, and don't worry, as someone who loves TOS, I appreciate all the little nods, but I feel like how many people when he first showed up in this legitimately went, who the fuck is Harcourt Fenton Mudd?
Well, everybody that the reason they put Mudd in the show was for the fans.
Jizzing.
So everyone who knew who Mudd was jizzed themselves.
Yeah.
And that's great. And the people that didn't know Mudd didn't need the backstory.
Yeah.
So why give, like, he could just be a shady guy.
Yeah, I wonder just a ton, like, what would the difference be if this were just a random guy? Just John the Prisoner.
Yeah, or like...
John the Prisoner.
That was always his name. It's kind of weird that it worked out this way.
Yeah.
Like, he could still be a very, like, well-written, weird guy who's clearly, like, trying to play both sides to come out on top.
Or, I got a better idea. We don't know, like, fuck the...
Oh, we don't know that it's Mudd yet?
We don't know that it's Mudd, but here's the thing. When Lorca and Ash leave him behind, have him shout through the bars, "You'll rue the day you wronged Harcourt Fenton Mudd!"
And remember the name, Jack London!
You know, yeah. I feel like it's weighed down by the fact that it's Mudd.
Because everyone's waiting for him to do something muddy.
Yeah.
Muddy!
And he doesn't have... And, like, I miss the mustache. I miss the accent. Like, that's why I say I don't think he clearly made the character his own by just making the character him.
He should have had the hat. That's the one complaint I had.
Yeah.
I did like his costume, though. It felt like, again, if TOS had more money, they might have dressed him like that.
He had a little friend. He had a little bug.
I love the bug. The bug was cute.
The bug with the bug.
Stuart.
Yeah, I didn't hate Mudd.
No,
I thought it was a fine plot. I thought Tyler and Lorca were stupid to leave him.
Yeah.
Instead of, bring him to justice and, like, throw him in jail.
It kind of makes sense,
Michael.
though. It kind of makes sense, though. I feel like Lorca is, like, impulsive and shitty.
Well, it feels like Lorca is the kind of guy who's like, I could bring him in, but then he'll be, like, treated by the Federation justice system, which is, like, kind. I'll leave him to the Klingons.
Are they? Did you see that tribunal room with Burnham?
Well, they're kind of everyone but Starfleet. If you're Starfleet and you fuck up, they will beam into your apartment like in that one episode of Voyager. No rights for you.
We got this. We were introduced to these Klingon phasers that just. There's more than vaporize you. It's like
it turns you into a green slurry.
Yeah, you just
delicious.
You just get like, and fortunately, like, you'd think that Klingons, being Klingons, would have really good armor, but it seems that only L'Rell gets that armor.
The plot armor.
The plot armor.
That's fine. I like her. She's allowed.
Yeah. That's why her face deflected a phaser beam.
She got face burned.
Yeah.
I like Laurel's accent when she's speaking English.
Oh yeah. Did she and she said somewhere like that she learned the English so that she could talk to them. Yeah. Or was that something I read?
Yeah, she said that.
Okay.
She's like a descended from spies and languages are useful.
That's cool.
I like the idea that she's maybe a big polyglot. She's got Vulcan banging around in there. And...
I think she's
whale probe.
I think she's part Romulan. I think that's the secret.
Well,
she's actually
Look, I already said Lorca.
Sela's great grandmother.
Yes, there you go.
I've already said Lorca's a secret Romulan. We can't have everyone be a secret Romulan.
Oh, why not? They're back.
No, they aren't.
Not yet.
It's pre-TOS.
We haven't met them yet.
Shh, they're back.
Yeah.
They're gonna change everything.
Oh, we bring up Lorca's eye problem again.
Oh, yeah. And the Baran.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, the Baran.
Rip Baran. Yeah, this was Lorca's previous ship.
Mm-hmm.
More fucking exposition just told to us. At least this one was more interesting, I guess.
Just watched a video about the Baran, the Soviet reusable space orbiter.
Oh, what is
program.
named after that?
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
What's the story?
Well, so, the U.S. won the space race, sort of.
I've heard that.
Well,
it's like, the Soviets did everything first, and then we did one thing first, and we're like, we win! We're going to stop the space race is over! Stop the count!
We did the big thing everyone was trying to do.
Yeah. Well,
that's what it was all building up to, so...
So after the Apollo program ended, they wanted to move on to these reusable orbiters, and they started the space shuttle program. And of course, then the Soviet Union's like, they're going to have a reusable orbiter. We need a reusable orbiter. But they got a late start, and they ended up designing this orbiter that looks shockingly like a space shuttle. Like they definitely, it was like,
where did they get this?
You can copy my homework, but make it not look like you copy my homework. Because they didn't even try.
Well, so funny enough, this channel I only just subscribed to in the last few weeks literally put up a video yesterday about the Baran.
It might be the same video I watched. Yeah, Bright Sun. Yeah.
Yeah, I only so looking at it, it does look like the nose is a little pointier than ours.
Yeah, it's a little different.
But otherwise, it's fucking 1-1 copy.
And basically, throughout the 80s, they were developing this shuttle, and they even got like a test launch, and it was more sophisticated in a lot of ways than the U.S. space shuttle because it could do an automated landing without.
Loop.
Yeah, it didn't explode on takeoff. So it did a little better than ours. But of course, they got they were like, all right, we're all set for 1993 launch with crew to orbit, and then 1993 never came for the Soviet Union. I'm sorry to say, so that the program basically got scrapped.
So where's the Baran?
So they built a bunch of orbiters. Most of them weren't completed. Evidently there's 2 of them that are just rotting in a hangar in Kazakhstan.
We should make an amusement park out of them.
One of them is apparently at a German Air and Space Museum somewhere.
Neat.
And there's might be some other. One of them got a building collapsed on it, so it got destroyed.
Jesus.
Oh no!
It's funny. I saw that video go up. Saw the word Baran, and I didn't the neurons didn't fire. I didn't make the connection.
Yeah. So it's a cool, interesting story.
Links below.
Funny enough, very tangentially related, and then we'll get back to work. I don't know if space shuttles can do a loop-the-loop, but a 747 can.
Yeah,
that seems improbable.
I watched I was watching a special. This again years ago on the History Channel. Actually had real facts on it.
Aliens.
Some guy was talking about being on the ground watching the test pilot take the 747 prototype through its paces, and he said after he did the first loop-the-loop, I was gonna fire him. After he did the second one, I was gonna kill him. So yeah, a 747 can fucking do that.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
but it's enormous.
But it's just.
It's
probably a bigger loop-to-loop than you
but you'd imagine you'd have to get a certain amount of speed up, and who thought something that big could get that fast? It's very impressive.
Yeah, Boeing used to make really cool planes. They don't make great planes anymore.
Oh no, Boeing, sad face.
But could a Constitution class do a loop-the-loop in atmosphere? I mean, yes.
I don't know if Constitution classes are supposed to go in atmosphere.
They can, though. We've seen it. In the one where they end up in the past and have to beam aboard the jet pilot.
Do the nasty in the
that's
past
right,
and tomorrow is yesterday.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. But that episode's not canon.
Bet the Intrepid class could.
Oberst, definitely. They do nothing but loop-de-loops.
They do nothing but explode. They are the Yugo of Starfleet.
The Delta Flyer only does loop-de-loops.
Yes, no, it's actually...
It
it's very...
can't physically fly
What
in
you're
a
going to
straight
say,
line.
the Delta Flyer only explodes. And I was like, oh.
Like, with the first person to fly that wasn't Tom was like, how do I make this not do loop-the-loops? Gonna turn off Tom mode. Fucking Tom.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, no, it's great. He's just crazy.
He is
One
crazy.
more thing on the Klingon side of the plot.
Yes.
So, who's lying then? Because I know in the Wrath of Khan, Kirk tells Savick that Klingons don't take prisoners.
Mm.
And apparently they fucking love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say that...
Or is it just because it's wartime and something?
No, Klingons definitely do take prisoners. I think that...
They took Archer as a prisoner.
Yeah, I think Kirk was just being...
Well, after that...
Then Kirk is a prisoner in 6.
After that, they never took prisoners again, because
Yeah.
goddamn, Archer, what a pain in the ass.
Krug took prisoners.
That's true.
No,
Kirk is a filthy liar.
Yeah.
He's also just very racist against Klingons, as we
True.
know, so it wouldn't surprise me if he was just giving,
Though this is
propaganda.
before they killed David and made him extra racist.
Yeah, that's true, but he didn't start from... He
he
started-
didn't start from 0. You're right. No,
Oh,
you're
but he
wrong.
loved Koloth. They
True.
were good friends.
How could you not love Koloth?
We had a laugh with Kang.
Mm,
Yeah, but that was under duress.
yeah.
It's pronounced Duras.
Ah, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I kind of forgot about that line until I saw it on the card, and I was like, oh yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just fucking with the cadet to try to put the fear of God into a Vulcan, which is a pointless exercise.
Yeah, but instead, prisoners all around. And how flawed is this choose your pain method? Because I'm curious, like, how it works. Because it's supposed to be there to, keep the prisoners from allying with each other, to keep them constantly kind of, like, untrusting of each other. Because you're going to say, torture the other guy, not me, right? So what does it do?
Couldn't tell you.
Is there just a constant rotating prisoner?
That seems
thing?
to be it. It's a little vague. I don't know if
Are there always 3 so you can team up on one?
Maybe. I don't know if there's, like, actually some sort of real-world precedent for this. Like, I don't know if it's something that some military infamously did to its prisoners at some point. I genuinely don't know. It seems like it just exists for the sake of the story, though. It's a little
And the
weird.
title. They really wanted that title.
True.
Like, why do they have the prisoners? Like, it's not like they're... I mean, I guess... So we know
Well, Lorca they want info
Yeah,
from.
Lorca they're trying to torture for
And
information.
Tyler's hot.
Tyler
so keep
seems...
him.
But he seems totally superfluous. Mudd, I guess they only have him so that he can spy on Lorca for them.
They captured Mudd probably legitimately, and then realized he's a good little weasel, so they keep him around to spy on prisoners in general.
But they already have a bug. A literal bug.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't need another thing when you've got a bug there, because, if you're in your cell concocting an escape plan, the bug will hear you. They always do.
Well, that's the thing, though. That was Mudd's bug. But why would they assume... Like, why would Lorca and... the plot falls apart for me because they're in a Klingon ship, in the prison of a Klingon ship. Why would Lorca think they're not being recorded? Like, he knows immediately that it was Mudd's bug, literal bug.
Yeah.
Could be any bug. There could be dozens
There
of
could
these
be, like,
things.
you're in a Klingon prison. Of course they've got you mic'd up. Like, they're going to put the prisoners together so that they can talk and learn shit. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's better than choose your pain, because then you have the prisoners working together, so you can use that against them.
Yeah. Like, it...
I mean,
Like, the fact that Lorca would immediately think, oh, yeah, it must be Mudd that ratted on me. Why? Why would you just assume that there's a microphone everywhere?
Yeah, because you just already hate Mudd, so it's easy to blame him.
I think he just wanted to kick Mudd's ass.
Which is fair.
Plus,
But
he really wants to, like, make some kind of, like, and now your name is Mudd joke before he beats his ass.
There you go.
That's what it is.
I will say, like, the reason you would have a person there... I mean, again, yeah, just mic up the whole room. You don't need the bug to be literally bugged. But if you've got a person... you need to have a person there who can, like, get someone talking, Like, they might not willingly do it on their own. Like, they might think reasonably, like, yeah, I'm a prisoner, I'm gonna say very little, or I'm going to say very vague things. But if you're there long enough with somebody and they coax you, they might trick you into letting your guard down. Like, there is a reason to have an informant.
Yeah, but they don't. It doesn't even need. What they could have done is just gotten a Klingon, put a wig on him, a mustache and glasses, and said, "Hi, I'm regular human."
Human, sir.
Regular
where
human.
are the augmented Klingons
George
right now?
Smith. Oh yeah, that's true. There should theoretically be some Klingons that look human.
Yeah, they should. They fucking should.
Hmm.
Of course, No, actually, it doesn't mean acknowledging that episode. You could still just have them. Never mind. It's fine.
What, the Enterprise episodes? Yeah, because,
Just
who
get
knows?
Core. He looks human enough.
There was actually, I wish the show maybe had done this, but there was actually a comic where they go to Kronos during this period, and they showed, like, different kinds of Klingons walking around.
Nice.
Like, there were Discovery-style ones, there were smooth ones, there were even a few TNG, TOS movie-looking ones.
Weird.
Just kind of like, there's branches of Klingon.
Well, it's, there's humans that have, different shapes and colors and all kinds of things.
And again,
Why
we know
wouldn't there be as much diversity in other races?
Yeah,
but on the show, they're all going to be this type.
Yeah. Have we ever seen an Asian actor play a Klingon? I don't know that we have.
If we have, I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, same.
Even like a background Klingon, I wouldn't know.
I don't think we have. No.
Interesting. Yeah, that thought just occurred to me. It's like, oh yeah, we've seen like black actors, we've seen white actors, but we really haven't seen anybody else with like distinctive, ethnic features.
Yeah, no,
Hold
that's
for
true.
a second. Let me...
To be fair, we don't see a lot of Asian actors in Star Trek.
No, that's true. They're not great at that.
Asians?
Yeah, we've got Sulu, we've got Harry Kim. That's about it.
There's a Nurse Ogawa.
Oh yeah, Ogawa. Yeah, that's true.
Our friend Vogue, mixed Pakistani.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, as far as like
some thought, I can't
for East or Southeast Asia, I don't know that we've ever had them as a Klingon.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I think I like, and I kind of like the idea that like maybe the smooth bear Klingons, the
Mr. Smooth Bear.
Mr. Smooth Bear.
We love those Starman commercials, and I don't know why.
It's a terrible Starman
It's
commercial.
terrible, but it sticks with you.
Klingons aside, does anyone care about the other plot that much?
I do. Well, we do finally meet Shazad Latif, who's been in the credits this whole time.
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
Ash Tyler.
Oh, right.
Who also, I realized, god damn it, disproves my rule that only women have last names that sound like first names. God damn it, Ash Tyler.
What?
We were talking about that last week or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Tyler, oh yeah, I just think of Tippecanoe and Tyler too.
I know several people.
Yeah, I know people with first name Tyler too, but I also think of
But I meant on the Discovery side. Do we have? We got Saru. Weird captain hang up.
Well, we have
Archer.
that. Oh god. Okay, let's talk about that first.
Oh,
God damn it, I hated that.
We should get Khan from the Kelvin verse together with Ash Tyler, and then we could use Tippecanoe and Tyler too, because it was the Harrison Tyler presidential slogan.
Oh,
and he played
fucking Lord.
Harrison in.
That was a stretch.
You were saying
Look at Chris acting like he's got the moral high ground and he never takes us on any weird tangent.
No, that
and what was that, Ames? I don't have anything prescient to say about Batman right now. So just skirt by
presidential
Jake
campaign slogans from the 19th century, not in my podcast.
It was just too much of a fucking stretch.
Yeah,
that was too much of a walk.
I was trying to think of somebody else named Harrison in Star Trek.
Well, there probably was. Anyway, you were saying.
Okay, yeah. So we have Saru. He's having this
crisis.
I'm a captain, but I'm really advocating torturing the tardigrade a lot. What would other captains have done?
Oh, wow.
And it's another fucking wank moment.
Yep.
It's like, show me other great captains. And it's all ones we've heard of before. Because the list is Archer. How would he make this list? Fuck that. April, I think, is on the list.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Archer, April, Giorgio,
Pike.
And Decker.
And Decker.
Decker?
Matt Decker. Matt Decker from Doomsday Machine.
Well, putting Archer on the list is a slap in the face, but to be fair, it's the top 5 and there's only been 5.
Well, being fair, what he says is most decorated. And we know that just by the virtue of being like the first, he's gonna get a lot of undeserved awards.
But why couldn't they put like
it's gonna be the most important day of his life.
Throw in some randos because now the impression to me is that from the mid-22nd century to the mid-23rd century, there have been no notable Starfleet captains.
Yeah, you know what they should have done? Instead of Archer, and it would have been wanky, but I would have appreciated it.
Tran.
No. Good. Captain Mayweather.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Like, Mayweather went on to become a captain.
Did you just forget Mayweather's name for a moment?
I could...
I watched you struggling, like, where is it? I know the name.
There it is. What it was is all I could think was Anthony Montgomery. It's like, fuck, for once I got the actor's name, and then I still can't remember Mayweather's first name.
Travis.
Thank you, Jesus.
Tippecanoe and Travis, too. That's how I remember it.
Wow, Jake.
But yeah, Archer, I mean, again,
There's
I
your
get
title.
it. Maybe. For the first one, yeah, he's like, but what does make it not work is when the computer is like, oh, known traits, empathy and kindness. Like, not Archer. Archer would be jerking off to the idea of torturing this thing to make his ship go.
I don't know. He likes the animals.
Yeah.
He likes his dog.
Yeah, it's interesting, knowing where they end up with the Saru character later. This version of Saru and like it's gonna be really interesting, I think, for me to kind of watch this progression because he's just kind of a meanie.
Yeah, and he plays the moral high ground with Burnham a lot since, she's a known mutineer and she fucked up hard. But he's supposed to be, if he's the moral high ground character, then you'd think he'd be like, oh yeah, we shouldn't torture animals. But I wonder if it's also he's thrust into the role of command because Lorca's gone and he's at wit's end. But we don't really see a ton of that.
No, we don't.
Well, they kind of, it's alluded to, at the end when he sort of kind of apologizes, I guess, to Burnham. It's not really an apology.
I was just jealous that you were first officer.
Yeah, basically, the reason I sucked so bad as being a captain is because I didn't ever get to train.
We play the whole dialogue from Chris's Hallmark ornament that time. Hallmark ornaments just go on forever.
They do.
Yeah.
And, and I mean, I guess, like, maybe, it's also, like, his judgment is clouded because it's Michael. She's like, we think this is happening, and he's like, I inherently distrust you for good fucking reason, don't get me wrong.
You tried to feed me that thing last week.
Yeah, so, like, I kind of get, like, that can also, I think, be part of it. It's just, like, you came to me to say a thing. Last time you came to a cabin to say a thing, you fucking...
You neck pinched her.
Yeah, you ruined everything. Thank God I'm so tall. You can't neck pinch
Can't
me.
reach the
Yes,
neck.
nice. But also, it ends up being that Michael is the only one on the tardigrade side for most of this episode. Like, she goes to Saru and she was like, no, torture him. She goes to Stamets and Stamets is like, no, torture him. I don't see that it's in pain, even though it's fucking obvious.
Yeah, no, it's in pain.
Who else? Even Tilly, when she goes to Tilly, and Tilly's like, well, I don't know, maybe you should do your job.
Yeah, well, Tilly's a bootlicker at this point.
Yeah.
She's still in school.
And only Culber comes around after doing, like, tests.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and my theory on why she went to Culber is because she knew that, like...
Culber could guilt him into it.
If anyone could have a chance of convincing Stamets, it would be Culber.
I do like that he was like, well, you figure out how to deal with him, and she starts by just kissing his ass. It's like, all right, she's figured that much out about him. That was pretty funny.
It was.
Yeah.
It makes everyone else seem like assholes.
Well, that's
but you can't
like,
see what's so obvious in front of your face that it's in pain when you put the things in it.
That's why I almost feel like, I know that it was the B plot of this episode, and they had Lorca off the ship, but it made more sense, I think, for Lorca to be the one in the Saru position for this plot.
Oh yeah, Lorca would fucking sacrifice 100 tardigrades.
Yeah, and I feel like the only reason that they made it Saru is because it makes more sense for Saru to have conflict with Burnham.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, at this point they don't want to have Lorca to have conflict with Burnham because he's got to be her champion.
Well, I think also
it's
it's
tough.
People don't like serving under Lorca.
Yeah.
And I think part of it too is like,
I don't know.
maybe people are willfully kind of ignoring stuff because they're like, look, we got this working, it made him happy, let's just keep our heads down.
We still haven't had a scene at all between Lorca and Saru.
True.
Which is interesting considering Saru is the first officer
Yeah.
and has a different set of morals than Lorca that the two would have huge discussions over.
Well, if Lorca would broach
Listen?
discussion.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
I think,
why we don't see it.
Within the first week, Saru realized, oh, this man doesn't want a first officer to compliment and work with him. He wants a first officer to just carry out. He needs his first officer to do what he's told, like Jellicoe.
Yeah.
an evil Jellicoe.
Well, that's why that's why I don't think that this plot makes a lot of sense with what we already know about the Saru character. That I don't know if the idea is that he just wants to go against what Burnham wants.
And Burnham has to be right because she's the main character of the show.
But yeah, it did feel odd to me that basically everyone, except for maybe Culber and eventually Stamets, is fine with torturing the animal.
Well,
I think Stamets would still be fine if it hadn't gone into its hibernation phase.
Yeah.
Well, he put up a moment's resistance when Saru ordered the jump that eventually caused it to go into its desiccated state.
I mean, I think to an extent, like I said last week, it's not that he doesn't notice, but he's going to try to ignore it because his fucking thing finally works, and that's what he cares about more than anything. Yeah. It's now that, now that it's being very actively pointed out to him, he's lost credible deniability. Mm. Especially, again, with Culber there glaring at him, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we mentioned that a lot of the characters got some names for the first time.
Yeah, Detmer gets a name.
Owoshikun
gets a name. I think, is this the episode where Reese gets a name?
Yeah, I think Reese did.
He says his name. Is this
Reese
the first time it was said? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
They were like, wow, we feel like we're forgetting something. It's the 5th episode. What have we... Oh my god, we haven't named a single crew member. Fuck.
They still haven't said Detmer's surname.
No,
I think they did today.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, Saru said Lieutenant Detmer or whatever. Everyone's a lieutenant.
Mm. No, that's kind of how it... Because it's like so many of them are... it's like when you look at the list, there's like JG, full commander. And usually they're like just shortened to lieutenant regardless, so... Lieutenant can cover a wide swath of people.
Lieutenant commanders are most frequently addressed as commander, though.
Are they?
I think so.
I think you're right, yeah.
That's fair.
More about Saru.
Mm.
So yeah, he had his I'm an antelope and I can see when the tigers are chasing me. Actually, I think lions. Lions would be chasing an antelope more likely, I think. And he's like, that thing there is an antelope. And I almost wonder if it should have been a little bit clearer, like maybe they were firing actively on Lorca and Tyler to make it like, because otherwise it's like, Saru just jumps to this conclusion when it could have just been, that's their leader. We don't know.
The problem there, though, is that if they're just getting shot at, then there's no mystery. Anyone could see.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's bad.
I mean, it's also, I think...
Why aren't they shooting at them, though?
I have a theory.
I want to hear the theory.
I think they put some kind of tracker into Lorca when they were torturing him, so that
like Geordi or the Millennium Falcon.
I was thinking of the Millennium Falcon because they did seem to get away pretty friggin' easily when the Klingons could just blow them up immediately. Right. So Shazat, if you do yourself a favor and go onto YouTube and search for Clem Fandango.
Yes.
Because that's my other...
He looks great, too. They costume him so well in those clips.
Yeah, so...
I've seen those clips. Someday I will watch the show it's from. It seems good.
What's the show again?
It's from
Toast of London.
And
it's a Matt Berry joint.
Matt Berry doing funny shit.
Oh, I love Matt Berry.
Oh, who doesn't?
Everybody loves Matt
Berry. Matt Berry's got to be on Star Trek. I would fucking love that.
He would have been a great Mudd.
Holy shit, yes.
Yeah, he really would have, actually.
Holy shit.
Because he's got the charm and the smarm.
Yeah. Oh, charm and smarm.
That's all you need, really, to be Harry Mudd. I mean...
And he can go dark if he needs to.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, Rainn Wilson doesn't have any charm because he's Dwight.
Because he's Dwight.
See, maybe it's because I haven't really seen the U.S. Office, so I don't have the, Dwight hanging over his performance for me.
I haven't seen that much of The Office U.S., and just knowing the little I know is...
It's in the Zeitgeist.
Yeah, that's it. It's...
Zeitgeist Dwight. Dwightgeist.
Dwightgeist. Perfect. Nailed it. Beautiful. This is why workshopping is so important, folks.
It is.
Collaboration.
I feel like I had a segue before, but I don't now. So we're just going to abrupt segue into our two-parter discussion, which we're continuing.
Part 3.
Our third part. It's multi-parter discussion.
Yeah, we're Deep Space Nining this.
Well, I was going to say, we could have done this in 2, but...
No, we couldn't.
Not with all the DS9
I know,
ones.
I'm just joking. We absolutely
The DS9 ones could have been 2.
I just wanted to make a joke about how two-parters are not usually necessary,
Sorry.
that's all.
Yeah, so, actually, in Voyager had a bunch of two-parters, and only two-parters, not like the 3 and 8-parters like DS9 was into. But I feel like a lot of the Voyager ones, they planned. So they feel more like there's a through line between the two than we saw in, like, TNG.
Well, I think also Voyager, I think, took more advantage of being on its own network to do more just feature lengths.
They did a couple feature lengths. Yeah, their feature lengths, I think, were successful.
Yeah.
The first one I want to talk about is actually I think it's the season 2 finale, season 3 opener, and that is Basics.
Oof.
Which is not a good example of this. Damn it.
Yeah, a lot of Seska bullshit.
Yeah, we got the Seska bullshit. We have everyone down on planet. Like, it's got very split up plots that were a bit uneven.
Are we not counting Caretaker, or is that just because that was a
premiere?
That was a pilot.
We haven't been doing the pilots or finales because they're kind of their own thing.
And we talked about them before on the blog.
That's true, we did.
Go back to those blog posts.
But it did give us I think the first time we've seen a ship land on had it landed before that, or
no? I
thought it had, or maybe not. I could be wrong. I know we knew it could land, but maybe that's the first time we actually see it.
Maybe
it landed in the 37s.
That's what that was what I remembered.
And actually, and I'll get back to this later. Or I'll do it now. Fuck it. We haven't gotten into basics yet, so let's talk about 37s. Should have been a 2-parter.
37s should have been
a season arc.
Discarded.
Well, it should have. If they were going to keep that story. Take Amelia Earhart out, step 1. Step 2, make it a 2-parter, show us those fucking cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one example of something that you had way too much for one episode.
It's also like...
Why did you do it this way?
We probably said this at the time, but... Remember, there was an episode of TNG where Picard or somebody makes reference to at the time, unsolved mathematical... thing.
Okay, was this in the Royale?
I don't remember.
Maybe, but yeah, but that has since been solved.
That has since been solved.
Yeah, I think it was the Royale.
It was just like it was very poorly. Like, don't bring something like that up because it could have been solved. Like, same thing with Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart crashed her plane and died.
It was eaten by coconut crabs.
For all we know. There's not really a mystery of Amelia Earhart,
well,
other than where exactly she crashed and died.
The weird part, though, is that to this day, even though we know it, and I think they actually have found, like they've used sonar and found, like, what they're pretty sure is her wreckage, there are still people who insist she didn't crash and ran off with Frank what's-his-name, or was kidnapped by
aliens.
Even if we actually got 100% proof positive, if they found her fucking corpse with a journal... with her last words written, this was Amelia Earhart, there would still be people insisting that's not her. Mm-hmm. People are fucking idiots.
They love conspiracy theories.
They do. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know what it is about the monkey brain that makes us love the dumbest bullshit, but we really do.
But anyway, they totally should have kept her on the show as a...
No, they should have had that character entirely.
No, if they were gonna have the character, they should have just made her a permanent.
I think that would feel disgusting.
Of course, it'd be fucking stupid. It'd be terrible.
Didn't we talk about that? Like, her and Tom could always be vying for the pilot position or something.
Yeah. It would be.
She'd have loved the Delta Flyer.
It would have been. I feel like there would have been points where it would have felt offensive because it was a real person.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, it shouldn't have been done at all.
But
anyway.
Fucking truck never should have started.
Yeah. So the first 2
parts
that you get is Basics, which is uneven as hell.
Yeah.
Kills off Suter, which they shouldn't have done. They should have kept Suter around.
At least he got to die in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, I think what we discussed when we talked about Basics was they clearly had no plan. Mm-hmm. They did not know what to do with Seska.
No.
And we never got the confrontation scenes we wanted. So we never got the Seska Chakotay scene we needed, considering they were the ones that kind of pushed this plot to the edge.
Yeah.
And we never got a Cullen Janeway confrontation, which we needed.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just fully, like, unsatisfying resolution to these episodes.
I mean, the Kazon were an unsatisfying enemy, full stop.
So we should have finished them off in a way that felt done.
Yeah,
instead of just like
fizzle.
Bye.
They fizzle, and then Voyager jumps 20 years away, so we don't see them again until Prodigy, where they're used a little better, frankly.
Hilarious.
Next.
So, sad face Basics. The next one we get is a fun one, and that's Future's End.
Yeah, I kind of have similar feelings about this one as I do with Past Tense, where it's just like, we just wanted to do a romp. It's just a
saves
romp.
money.
I like a romp.
Yeah.
You know, it's Voyager does Star Trek 4, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that the one with Sarah Silverman?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I thought it was dumb.
Doc gets his
It's a
mobile
little
emitter.
dumb, but it's cute.
I mean, also, like, Sarah Silverman, you know, this is one of her first acting gigs outside of SNL, and she's just not great yet as an actor.
I liked her and Tom, though. That I remember liking
good.
her and Tom.
Yeah.
I feel like we realized, this whole plot in the desert should have been excised, or at least done better.
Yeah.
Because I know it's like, we need something for all the characters to do, which they did do, because I know like other shows don't do that an awful lot when they have like all this extra time to fill.
Yeah.
But they didn't fill it terribly well.
Wasn't there a really cheesy explosion, too, at one point? Like,
I'm
they
sure
blew
there
up a
was.
truck, and I feel like the
Yeah.
special effect was really
Yeah,
bad.
that's
really
right.
bad.
Yeah, yep. It looked real
I
bad.
forgot about that.
I just remembered the bad... I remembered the rest of it, but then just now, it's like, hey, remember that dumb explosion? I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a very dumb explosion. And considering, like, you know, we're saving money using a pre-existing, like, backlots and shit. We go to the observatory. Clifford?
Fuck. Griffith.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go there. You know, we don't have to build a ton of shit because it's all pre-existing bullshit. Everyone just dressed themselves from home. So you'd think we'd be saving a lot of money to make these effects look really great. Oh no, we just don't have the tech yet.
Yeah.
But again, you know, we got the mobile emitter, so that changes things greatly
We
for
got
the
Mobile
EMH
Emitter,
character.
We got Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah. Weird bugger.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
The first appearance of Captain Braxton.
Oh yeah, early Braxton.
Any time travel episode just always kind of feels stupid in the end, but this
I
was
think
fine.
as far as the ones they've done, I'd say it's one, because it's not, you know, it's not Assignment Earth.
It's not Assignment Earth.
It's not fucking Times Arrow Part 2. It's not...
I like how you specify Part 2.
I have to pretend I still liked Part 1. Because I did at the time.
You're never going to rewatch it and then realize, oh, right.
Someday I need to rewatch to be like, oh, I was wrong from the off. But I'm not gonna try to claim I didn't say I liked the first half. I will be honest. What other time travel we had?
Well, we did a whole time travel blog post a while back,
That's
so
true, we
check
did.
it out there.
First Contact is weird because it's time travel, but they don't do the usual, like, fish out of water time travel thing. The whole point is, like, they are somewhere where they don't have to contend with that, so that's a little different.
Anyway, this isn't. We've already done a time travel
Yes,
blog
we have.
post.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
Yes.
Future's End.
Next.
It was close. It was close to getting it.
Yeah, I feel it was entertaining. I'd watch it again.
Yeah. The next one is a season premiere, and that's Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion's great.
Oh, that's when we meet Seven.
Yeah, we
It
first get
introduces
Seven.
7 and 9.
We tried to make a deal with Borg, and then learned that it was a horrible idea, Janeway. Bad idea, honey.
I think. I mean, it's certain. The stakes certainly don't feel as high or as suspenseful as Best of Both Worlds. But
I did like where they left their cliffhanger, like they did in Best of Both
yeah,
Worlds.
exactly. Well, I think this is very much Voyager's Best of Both Worlds moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it ultimately works pretty well, and I feel like they stick the landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think the arcs between Chakotay and Janeway, like passing each other like ships in the night in terms of what idea they want to go with, and then coming back around and putting their plans together.
Yeah.
Very nice Voyager work. Like they knew how to make a two-parter fit together.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good example of a two-parter done well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, my favorite two-parter done well. Year of Hell.
Yeah, Year of Hell.
Love this
Another
episode.
good one.
These two episodes.
Yeah.
I know I said it at the time, but it's like one of those rare instances where, like, even though it was kind of undone at the end, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, normally when they do something, I'm like, what the fuck was the point of my being here? But, I don't know, just something about the whole struggle. Maybe because that was kind of the point of it. Like, we knew had to be,
and they used the time thing in the advantage to make it make sense.
Yeah, like, if it had been more than a two-parter, and then, like, because hadn't they talked about it, or was this just us saying it should have been, like, maybe a whole season?
Yes.
Or
I think it's
I
not,
have a
it
note
didn't
right here.
originate with us, but it has been said.
Yeah, it has been said. So originally this was going to be the season 3 finale, season 4 premiere, before they put Scorpion there instead.
Right.
And then they were planning on making Year of Hell a 4-parter.
Okay.
And then they decided, no, we're not giving you 4 parts of this, because then I feel like the time reset would
the
feel like a
reset
slap
button.
in the face.
Yeah, like, I feel like, like, if you do more than just a couple episodes, you've got to resolve it in a way that doesn't undo the whole story. Mm-hmm. That would be, why did I just watch this whole fucking thing? For a two-parter, though, it didn't bother me. I was like, yeah, I'm okay with this for once.
Yeah, it's great watching, like, the progression of the Voyager getting shit to hell.
Yeah.
Janeway and each crew member getting progressively filthier. I love that.
Neelix's in a uniform.
Neelix in a uniform, blind Tuvok. Like, there's so much that's really good in Year of Hell.
Yeah.
Ramming speed.
Did I sleep through this
You
episode? Okay.
did sleep through this episode.
I was gonna say, I was like, we talk about Year of Hell all the time. I don't remember a damn thing about it,
you
which
should
is usually unusual. Is not unusual, but I really don't remember anything about this one.
Red Foreman's there, and Chakotay trying so hard to Chakotay at the situation and losing his way because of it.
Did he get his dick out in greeting?
He tried.
That's what you do.
Good man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely go back and rewatch Year of Hell, because, yeah, it's a solid example of a villain and a solid,
What was the one after the Year of Hell? The next two parts.
The next two, you're moving us forward, Jake?
Yeah.
You're great, thanks. I love it. I love it already. Our next two-parter is The Killing Game. And I wrote down the best, because I re-listened to our coverage of it, and the best reaction was Chris saying, this shouldn't have been a two-parter. And then Jake saying, this should have been a six-parter. And us laughing for a day.
Was this the Nazi one?
Yeah.
Nazi aliens?
Yeah.
What were the
Herodians.
aliens? Herodians, that's right. I felt like I liked these episodes. Did I not like these episodes?
All right.
I didn't dislike it, but
Chris is the one that disliked. You put this on your bad list.
I did?
You did.
I didn't dislike that. Oh, wait, I did.
I thought my only issue was that it was too long, but really?
I forget what you said that you didn't like. I think there was something about how quickly people came out of it, or the pacing or something. I could look it up, but I'm not going to.
It sounds like
to
something
right
I'd
now.
say.
I could look it up, but I'm not going to.
No, it'd be hard. But yeah, again, I thought there were pacing issues. So I said it didn't have to be a two-parter.
I liked seeing, I think what it needed was a bigger climax. So I know we were also joking that they should have gone full Blazing Saddles with it and just had
yes.
all the hologram characters come out at once.
That would have been great.
And break everything utterly.
Because they had supposedly all these other programs running, and that would have been an amazing ending.
Now I know if you said this should have been a six-parter, remind me why, Jake. Remind me what you liked about this one.
Jesus, you want me to remember things from 2 years ago? I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Was it 2 years ago?
Probably.
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought this episode was fine. You know, it's got Nazis, it's got punching Nazis, it's got shooting Nazis.
That's always good. Never a bad time to punch a Nazi.
Anytime you're causing distress to Nazis is good.
Oh, is that our boy Boehmer in there
Yeah, J. Paul Boehmer.
Yeah.
Very much.
Love him.
Rocking the... I can see why you get cast as a Nazi a lot. You're very good at
Nazi.
it. Yeah, but he's got that very, those very chiseled features that they frequently like Nazi actors to have.
Yeah, and he delivers the Nazi speech of why we're better than others, and you're like, oh, we don't usually see you guys say it. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I am not the actor you're looking for.
No, I liked The Killing Game, though. I thought maybe there were some pacing issues, and it would have been more interesting to see.
Part 1 kind of drags, maybe, and then part 2 just kind of
part 1
rushes the ending.
Yeah, part 1, everyone is still brainwashed.
Yeah.
And except for 7. And there was a debate, I think, of would it have been more interesting if people came out of it at different times or earlier or what?
Yeah.
Or they did something more interesting with, 7 sleuthing. But I don't know. I didn't mind it.
It would have been a great opportunity to bring back Freya.
Why?
She's a holodeck character and she could help them.
That'd be weird, Jake.
It'd be kind of weird. That actually, though, if it not only the other programs, the Herodian were running, but just everything got turned on, fucking Da Vinci comes in and beats a guy. That would have been the one acceptable use of Da Vinci. He comes in on his stupid glider, dropping bombs at people.
And my axe! That's good.
Oh my god.
That's cute. Anyway, that's The Killing Game. The next one is another one I really like, and this one is I think this was our first feature length, where it's all released at once, and that's Dark Frontier, when we meet Borg Queen.
Yeah.
And I will always love me some Borg Queen.
I had no idea, after watching First Contact, that Borg Queen was going to be everywhere all the fucking time. I think I liked Borg Queen better when she was not around as much.
Better, a small dose. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love this episode, to be honest.
I do. I love this episode.
I mean, it's fine.
I'm sorry, which one is this?
Dark Frontier.
Is this the one where they're living in the Matrix?
No, that's Unimatrix Zero.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
It's a different.
We'll talk about that one in a minute.
I was gonna say because that's a two-parter, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember this one, but
Yeah,
I remember Unimatrix Zero.
Well, then again, I thought I didn't mind the Killing Game. Did I like this one? I thought I did.
I thought we liked this one.
Yeah, is this the one where they go fake undercover? Well, not fake. They go undercover as fake Borg?
No.
No, that's later.
That's Unimatrix Zero.
God. That one too. Wait, I'm confusing the Borg ones now. Which one is this?
Dark Frontier is when we're getting more Borg. What are their fucking rod things called?
Transwarp conduit?
Transwarp conduits.
Transwarp batteries.
Those things.
Some things.
And then 7 hears the calling and decides, I'm going to go join back up with the Borg because otherwise Borg Queen is threatening us.
Right.
But then 7 gets there, is like, yeah, I actually hate this. And Janeway says, we're going to go rescue 7. And they rescue 7.
No.
For some reason, I thought the Rescue 7 involved it. Okay. But, I liked it. I think I enjoy the Borg Queen and Voyager.
Yeah, I love
They
Borg
should
Queen
have
Janeway.
stopped with... Yes.
Borg Queen / Janeway, hell yes.
Their enmity is beautiful. And then after Voyager, they never should have had the Borg Queen ever again. Voyager should have been the end of the Borg.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, no, you're like I feel like whenever those two had to glare at one another, it was great. Which again, like I said, feels like for me, it's like you watch it and you're like, yeah, no, the Borg Queen isn't Picard's enemy anymore. Janeway stole her.
Mm-hmm.
So was Unimatrix Zero the next two-parter after this one?
It's not. There's one before.
Oh, what was it?
It's Equinox.
Oh, that's a great episode.
Fucking Max.
Oh,
Fuck
it's
Max.
such a good
Fucking
episode.
Max.
Fuck
It is.
Ransom. Fuck them all.
I love.
Ransom's not good, but of the two of them, like if I could only space
Max.
one, I'm spacing Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when we did our season wrap of whichever one this ended the season of. And Jake said, oh, well, so part 2 is the better one. So I'll save part 2 for my tops list for next season. And we get to next season's wrap. And he says, oh, well, it feels like it should be part 1. So, I won't include Equinox on my best list this season. And it's like, Jake, so you never included Equinox on your best list, even though you really like it.
Oh,
Jake talked himself out of it, huh?
That's funny. I think they both work. I think both episodes work.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. Fucking Max.
Remind me which one this is?
BLT.
Yeah, they find the other Federation ship that had been pulled into the Delta Quadrant, but
so
they were much less lucky.
They're torturing an animal for their propulsion system.
Yeah.
Where do we see
And it's
that?
cute. It's a cute animal.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Couldn't they use an ugly animal?
I know, right? Yeah, they're torturing animals to help boost their warp drive, and the animals are not pleased with it, so they start attacking the ship.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
A good episode.
And then they bring on the few Equinox survivors who become an integral part of the... Oh, wait.
Oh, we never see them again.
No.
I think that's the shitty thing about
Yeah.
Equinox is that they never use it again.
No.
Even though, we took on those crew members. So we had Lessing and the girl one and whoever else.
But, thank God we got those 3 new people in that...
Good Shepherd?
Fucking, yeah.
Fucking no.
I know, I was reminded of that episode again recently and just wanted to say how bad it is. God, I hate that episode.
Yeah, it actually surprises me because I remember when we talked about Equinox, we said that even though I've said usually there's a good pace between the two parts of the two-parters, there was no plan for part 2 when they got to the next season.
Wow.
Which is surprising because I thought part 2 was executed very well.
Yeah. I wonder, would Good Shepherd have been better if it was like the Equinox people and just not these 3 random losers?
No.
Oh, I want to see. I would love to see how that would look.
Good Shepherd should just be excised from...
Yeah, it was a terrible fucking episode. Yeah. But I wonder if maybe that would have helped.
Unimatrix Zero is a pretty good episode, though.
Oh, Jake's moving us on. Thanks, Jake.
Jake's good at this.
Yeah, Jake's very good at this.
Wow.
So Unimatrix Zero, I think this is another season premiere one. Am I nuts? I might be nuts.
I mean, you're definitely nuts, but I don't know the answer to your query.
Checking.
Mushroom.
That's the thing, unless I'm told otherwise, I always assume it is.
It is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's season 6 into season 7.
Really? That late? Wow.
Yeah, and this is the one where, we go into the Matrix. We meet Seven's
Unimatrix.
Borg boyfriend. Borg friend.
That cool Klingon.
Oh yeah, Korok,
Mm-hmm.
who we like.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't. I was gonna say, was that just Martok in disguise? But it wasn't. This wasn't a Martok in disguise.
No, those are in Enterprise.
Oh,
He was the Hirogen boxing manager that one time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy. We liked him.
I just love the guy that plays
J.G. Hertzler. Yeah, he's great.
my fave.
He's great.
I love him.
But yes, Korok, haha.
Yeah, and this is the one where Janeway and Tuvok and B'Elanna go undercover as Borg, get themselves assimilated, but have like something that's keeping them from losing their autonomy.
Beta blocker.
This is interesting, right? Because it kind of ends on a downer because
because
they have this paradise matrix where everyone can be friends and doesn't have to be Borgified.
And they can bang.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, maybe we can get them to retain their consciousness outside of the Unimatrix Zero. And that is what tips the Borg Queen off that, like, holy shit, there's fucking... And then she destroys Unimatrix Zero. So it's like, if we hadn't gotten involved, it would have been fine.
I thought they were already kind of figuring out something was up, though. Like, I think they were killing those Borg anyway.
Was she? Yeah. I
sure
remember,
she
the Borg Queen was just, like, terminating whole cubes because the consciousness virus was getting out.
Yeah, later she goes nuclear, but I think she had already started to work out something was up and was killing individual Borg anyway.
Oh, maybe.
So, like, either way, Unimatrix Zero was doomed.
Yeah, she was killing the individual Borgs that she had access to.
Yeah.
If it's like, oh, this ship off in this quadrant has one member on it that's in Unimatrix Zero, blow the whole thing up.
Yeah, I think that was later to, like, kind of try to threaten Janeway.
It was great.
I mean, to be fair, there are a ton of Borgs. They're not going to miss one cube.
Right.
Although, that's a stark contrast to what the Borg Queen in First Contact says. Is like, I couldn't kill, was it? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wasn't there a thing in First Contact about I couldn't separate a drone from the collective? It would be like ripping off my own arm or something.
I do not remember.
Anyway.
But also, very different situation. At this point, she's getting a bit desperate and maybe a bit crazy. Her and Ransom.
Yeah, and these people are threats to her.
So. Yeah, that's true. And was the next one then going to be Workforce? Or is there one between?
There is one between.
What is it?
It's Flesh and Blood, which is the one with the hologram ship takes over from the Hirogen.
So this is Hoist by My Own Petard.
Picard.
Yes, Hoist by My Own Picard. Well, because Janeway gave the Hirogen the hologram so that they could torture them, and now the tortured holograms are back for revenge.
Well, they weren't supposed to be sentient.
Well, you goofed. You goofed, son.
The Hirogen were too good at this.
I'm surprised that was when I saw it, I was like, that was a two-parter?
Yeah, it feels like that one probably could have worked as a one-parter. But yeah, this is like the sequel to the Killing Games. That's interesting.
Which, not super common in the Voyager days.
Yeah, kind of is. That's interesting.
You kind of have to know at least a little bit of what was happening. I mean, I'm sure they did. They what's the word? Recapped, but still. Better if you'd actually seen its predecessor. Yeah, it's weird, because even reading it, it's like, how is this two parts?
Yeah. And Simon Tarsus is back as the leader of the...
No, that was Iden, the Bajoran guy. He was the leader.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't the leader.
And he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, so was Simon Tarsus, because he was like he was just kind of violent, wasn't he? Like, he was a dick.
He was a dick. Yeah, he was a dick. And I remember the Iden turn was the I think the downfall of this episode, where it was just like, oh, you made him go full evil.
Yeah, like it's that trope you see so much in media of just like a villain who has a good point. So to make it not uncomfortable for anyone, they just have them go too far.
Yeah, and then we had our Cardassian hologram friend.
Yeah,
I liked her.
Helps B'Elanna.
Kajal,
helps B'Elanna try to overcome her racism again.
For the 5th time.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this one's alright, but it probably didn't need to be stretched into 2 parts.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's hard. Like even reading it now, it's just like I don't remember how I felt when I saw it.
Yeah,
I think you just hated the ending so much that it didn't matter what happened in the other 2 parts.
That's true.
I don't remember ever being like bored or anything for the 2 parts.
No, it's just
because it is fascinating.
It is. It is.
I mean, it's a great idea.
Yeah. And then Workforce was next.
And then Workforce.
Which is not... I like Workforce a lot. That's one of my top.
Yeah. Your joke, I think, when we covered this was, so this is basically Killing Game again, huh?
Yeah, kind of, right? Everyone loses their memory, has to do stuff.
And B'Elanna's pregnant.
And B'Elanna's pregnant.
But they don't have to get repeatedly shot and shit. They just have to work in a place with middling OSHA practices.
Yeah. With Janeway gets a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we liked him.
I like the boyfriend.
Good chemistry.
Good chemistry.
Should have kept him. Just bring him on board. What do? I don't know. You're mostly here to make me feel good.
I think
Vacuum the floors.
This episode's great because it introduces us to the ECH for the first time.
Oh,
well,
no,
not actual.
big,
The first
bad.
actual first time.
Yes.
Not,
oh God, him
not,
and Harry
not,
have the pissing contest.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, that felt like stretching. Like they didn't
That
have
was a
enough
little-
of those
But
characters
I
to do.
don't know. I thought it was nice that the Doctor got to run the ship on his own for a while.
Now I can't remember. Does this version of the ECH have the dramatic Pip appearance,
No,
or did he just turn red?
No, he just turns red.
Okay, it was only in the Daydream where the Pips
where the
popped
Pips
off.
pop up.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Freaking EMH, man.
But I don't know. I like this episode.
Yeah, I like Workforce.
I like Chakotay.
Yeah,
I like
I
Neelix.
I love watching Janeway learning, like, I could be a captain, you say. Yes, let's go with that. That sounds fun.
Okay, I get to threaten to blow up the ship anytime you want.
All
It
the
is
fucking time.
super easy on this ship. Like, literally, you do not need even a second person to sign off on it.
You just set your coffee down on this button and you self-destruct the ship.
Seriously, Starfleet made it way too easy to blow up the ship. Used to take 4 people.
Tuvok gets to go crazy. Which is
Yeah, we
awesome.
love
Like he
Crazy
does.
Tuvok.
All right. That's we need a blog post just on the times Tuvok went nuts. Because I feel like it happened a lot.
Anyway, yeah, good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and like I said, I feel like so many of the Voyager 2-parters are more thought out than the TNG 2-parters.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's because they learned some stuff from DS9.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Or they just planned ahead, which, you'd think that should be your first goal.
Is that the lot?
That's the lot.
That's all.
Yeah,
As
Jake
long as an Endgame
Jake
comes
pushed
next.
us through.
Wow. No, I'm surprised. But yeah, I guess we're already in season 7, and then it's the finale, which we already talked about. So.
Okay, what do we got? All right, next week. I guess I should do the outro bit. Where I'm like, well, that's really interesting, everyone.
Keeping all that.
Thank you all for listening today to our showcast pod game. And
Pod show.
we were...
Our
Showcast.
This was it. So next time on our showcast, we will be talking about a new episode of Star Trek The Discovery. Lethe? Leith? I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly am
Find
not
out-
sure either.
Vende,
Hopefully
Vinci.
they say it in the episode.
I
'cause
don't think they do.
Fuck.
I'll
So I
find
genuinely
out
have no
next
clue.
week, maybe. That is going to be the next thing we'll talk about. That is, of course, an episode of Star Trek The Discovery. You've been listening to A Star to Steer Her By, the podcast, hosted by us. We'll do the names in a bit. But before we do that, you should find out where to find out more. You go to the website, sshbpodcast.com, Facebook, SSHB Podcast, search or use the URL bar. Do whatever you want. Type it out. Great. SoundCloud. You can also get. And Tumblr. We're not on Twix. We're on... I don't think we're on Blue Sky. We talked about that.
We should figure it
That's the
out.
one you said last week
Yeah.
that I haven't edited
Okay,
yet.
well-
So I maybe have made a Blue Sky by this point.
All right, well, maybe. So, yeah, find us all those places and more on our home on the web, SoundCloud. Sure. My name has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames, Part 1.
And this is always Caitlin.
And this is Jake.
Part 2.
Wait, fuck. This is Chris still.
Why are we doing this?
Because you have to do part 2.
Part 2!
Previously on A Star to Steer Her
And
By.
now the thrilling conclusion.
There we go.
All right.
This has been Ames,
And this
Part
is-
1.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Do you want to do it again?
No! Fine, I will.